Hey everybody, Sean's Tech Tips here. It's vertical videos, I know, but I wanted to address some concerns about wireless microphones, wireless in-ears, and um, and the geomagnetic storms that are happening tomorrow, and how this is going to affect your Sunday services. Now, I'm gonna throw a few scenarios out there and what you will probably experience. So scenario one is your RF mics are on your stage, or you have your remote antennas on the stage that are piped into your receivers. As long as you're close to those antennas, say 30 to 60 feet max, the geomagnetic storms that are happening tomorrow, May the 12th, should not affect you. You should still be well above the noise floor that we're going to be seeing. Now, tomorrow, which is May the 12th, I may take a community picture or something, or maybe even do a quick video showing the noise floors that we are seeing on our RF situation. And it'll be based in the area of Shreveport, Louisiana, because where my church is. But anyways, as far as that's concerned, even if you're down like the VHF ranges, such as Assure, QLXD, ULXD, or any of the electrosonics mics that operate in VHF that are digital, you should experience no issues. If you have analog mics, you might hear a little more noise floor. My church unfortunately has analog mics, so we'll probably hear a little more noise floor in some situations. But just like I said, as long as you're close to those antennas, you should be okay, and there's nothing there to attenuate your signals. Now, let's say your wireless rig is at front of house, and your antennas are at front of house, and you're like 100, 150, 200 feet away. You should still be able to conquer the noise floor at about 100 to 150 feet. But let's say you're in front of house, but it's like 200 feet away from the stage. You're going to run into issues with noise floor, and it's going to cause your mics to cut out. If you're 100 feet or less, you should be perfectly fine. So you shouldn't experience many, if any, dropouts in those scenarios. Like I mentioned, if you're like 200 feet away, and you're like, my mics have worked previously, and you come in this Sunday and all of a sudden your mics are not working correctly in that situation, chances are it's because you're not able to overcome the noise floors that we're going to be seeing in the geomagnetic storms. Now, having said that, there's a few things you can do to combat this if you're worried about noise floor. What you need to do, number one, let's say you have a Shure or a Sennheiser rig, you're able to use Wireless Workbench, which is a free utility from Shure, to actually go through and obtain the best available frequencies to your area around your TV stations. Now, if you are a customer of mine or the company I work for, we've already done these things for you. You're on the best available frequencies. However, if you haven't done this, you need to do this. And the other thing you can do is, let's say you have an SLXD, QLXD, or ULXD, or Axient system. I can speak on this from the Shure. You have two RF power levels on those wireless mics. That's low and high. I would suggest, if you're running on low now, to go adjust your mics to run on high RF output. This will give you plenty of room to get over that noise floor that we're going to be seeing tomorrow. Now, on in-ears, if you're on like a PSM 900, and let's say it's at front of house and the antenna's at front of house for the separation, go ahead and bump your transmit power up to 20 milliwatts for this week. But I would never go over 10 milliwatts like ever in these situations, because those will go up to like 100 milliwatts and you can blow out your wireless mics quickly. But maybe for this Sunday, if you're having some issues in that regard, I would bump up to 20 milliwatts. But if you're on stage and your antennas are on stage and your singers are close to it, if you're at 10 milliwatts, you should be fine. So that's just an outlook of the solar activity coming up for May the 12th, 2024. And what you're going to notice with your wireless mics. Now, some other systems you might be thinking about. Tamitha Scobe has mentioned on her YouTube channel that we're seeing RF interference up to a gigahertz. So you're well above. So you're into that point where you're getting maybe close to cordless telephones, where you're getting close to Wi-Fi. Now, will we see issues with Wi-Fi? Probably not. I don't think that we're going to be seeing any kind of reaches up to 5 gigahertz or 2.4 gigahertz. But for those of you that have like maybe wireless HDMI that's running on a sub 1 gigahertz frequency, you're probably going to notice some issues with that. You've been warned. But outside of all that, as far as wireless microphones, comms, and all that, you should be more than fine for your Sunday services tomorrow, May the 12th, 2024. Thanks for watching.